GBMC RX, prescription for a healthier you.
So it's finally fall, which means a break from the summer heat, and more people are going to be active outside. But that also means a chance for increased injuries. That's where GBMC Health Partners comes into play.
So we're out here at our Padonia Station office where we have orthopedics 5 days a week. We have hip and knee specialists, shoulder and sports specialists, foot and ankle specialists, and we're very excited about being out here in Baltimore County.
Orthopedic surgeon James Johnston is with GBMC Health Partners. He says there are many injuries that pop up around this time of year that people need to be aware of, starting with stress fractures.
So with people increasing their mileage to get ready for the 10-mile or the marathon, as you run more, you can have stress fractures, and one of the signs is pain the longer you're going. So it's important not to increase your running more than about 10 or 15% per week. So as you increase your mileage is when you really increase your risk for those stress fractures.
And not just fractures.
Absolutely. If you're not doing your stretching ahead of time, you can get quadricep strains, Achilles strains. Those can all get irritated as you're jogging more.
Adults also need to be mindful of their kids. Increased activity can cause issues for them as well.
So same thing with the kids as they get out and they're going to be playing soccer in the fall and all these other sports. The first thing is want to make sure they have appropriate shoe wear and protective gear, make sure they have their shin guards for soccer and their mouth guards. But also, particularly in some of the younger kids, they can be at risk for growth plate injuries. So if they do note that they're having pain, particularly with weight bearing after their workouts, we want to be a little bit more careful with a younger child because their growth plates are still forming the bone and they can have a more significant injury. So if the child is having trouble weight bearing or limping, they should not be playing sports. They should be out until they're able to walk fairly normally. And then when they come back in, their coach should be checking on them to make sure that they're playing safely because they can get other injuries if they're not able to protect themselves on the field.
And a heads up for young women athletes as well, an injury they're more prone to.
ACL injuries are one of the more common sports injuries that occur, particularly in young women. They occur as non-contact injuries. As you plant your foot, the femur will shift forward on the tibia, and you can result in meniscal injuries as well. So one of the things that's really important in young female athletes is to make sure that you have working on your quadricep strengthening, and you can work with your athletic trainer at the school to help prevent ACL injuries.
You want to get in front of injuries before they become even worse and require surgery.
A lot of times before you have a quadricep tear or a patellar tendon tear or an Achilles tear, you'll have pain and the tendinitis. The tendons have very bad blood supply, so they tend to take a long time to heal and you get repetitive injuries. So if you are having pain, you want to make sure you get that checked out or give it some time to rest so you don't rupture it completely.
For more mature athletes,
I deal a lot with knee arthritis, and jogging puts a lot of stress on your knees. When you're jogging, it's a fairly high impact exercise. So there are some people that as we age where you might be better to switch over to something like swimming or biking that's less impact. You can certainly get meniscal injuries and exacerbations of knee arthritis. When you do, you want to rest, ice, try and get the swelling down. And usually these exacerbations will get better within a few days.
And for all you new pickleball enthusiasts?
Yeah, we see a lot of people coming in with pickleball injuries. It does require you to bend down a lot, so people get meniscal injuries and exacerbations of knee arthritis. And it tends to be a lot of people who aren't necessarily playing other sports or just learning it for the first time, so they may be a little bit more prone to these types of injuries.
No matter what the injury, GBMC Health Partners is here to help.
And one of the benefits of coming to a GBMC Health Partners location is that we have all your records here. We have x-ray right here on site so that unlike going to an urgent care, we'd be able to look everything up fairly easily. We're here 5 days a week and we're hoping to increase. One of the big emphasis here is increasing access to orthopedic care so that patients don't have to go to the emergency room, so that we can see them and hopefully take care of their orthopedic needs in an outpatient setting.
For more information on GBMC Health Partners, visit gbmc.org/services/orthopedics.
GBMC RX has your prescription for a healthier you. This month, GBMC orthopedic surgeon James Johnston helps you stay injury-free this fall and tells you where to go if you do get injured. Watch today here on YouTube.